Hello, dear student. I'm your computer teacher, Mr. Glory, but yes, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you this morning. In fact, it's been a while that we have not been in touch, and it's so wonderful to see how computer science and technology could help us to stay connected and to continue to work. So, welcome to this online platform. I want to make sure that you are going to take the best of it. So, stay connected, stay online, take some notes, and be concentrate in your learning because this is going to be part of your third term evaluation. So, the online classes are really part of your curriculum. So this time, let's move on to the computer right now and start our lessons. Thank you. Hello, dear student. Today is a wonderful day, and we are going to start a new chapter. The last time in class, we saw um, the different types of memory: random access memory, the memory modules, the cache memory, the ROM memory, the flash memory, the CMOS. We saw the importance of the CPU and how information are treated. And now we are going to move into storage, units of storage, and capacity. So let's follow up together as we move on. In this lesson, we are going to talk about storage and storage devices. This lesson will equip you in order to know how to choose your storage devices according to your need. By the end of the chapter or this lesson, you should be able to, number one, to define storage and storage devices. Number two, to understand storage units and meaning of capacity. Number three, to define access time and transfer rate. Number four, to define magnetic disks and distinguish between tracks and sectors. Briefly describe various types of magnetic disk and optical disks. To state the advantages of external and removable hard drive disk over internal disk. To define and state the advantages of online storage. So this is basically what we're going to see and what you should be able to do by the end of this lesson. Let's start with the content. In fact, we're going to learn what is storage. Then we're going to talk about the units of storage and capacity, how to measure, how to compare two different storage medium. We're going to talk about magnetic disk, optical disk, hard disk, online storage, and mobile storage devices. The different type of devices that you can use to store your information. As you can see, we are going to focus more on secondary storage device. And we can say that storage refers to the media and methods used to keep information available for later use. Some things will be needed right away, while others won't be needed for extended period of time. For example, when you type a text, you need the text to appear on the screen. By the way, you need it right now. When you start typing the text on the keyboard, you want the letters to appear immediately when you type them. But after the writing of your text, maybe it's a letter for your parent, you need to store it somewhere. You want to print it maybe in 2 weeks' time. You were just preparing. So now you don't need to save it somewhere where it's going to be available all the time. You want to save it for future use. So different methods are appropriate for different users. We have two main types of memories. We have the primary storage that we have seen in chapter 6. This keeps track of what is currently being processed. It's volatile, so when power is off, it erases all data. For main memory, computers use random access memory. This uses memory chips and is the fastest but also most expensive type of storage. We have the secondary storage. That is the object of our lesson today. So let's move on and talk about secondary storage devices. In fact, it's also called auxiliary storage. They are also used to store programs and computer software for future use. Yes, you may ask, how could we store a program or computer software for future use? In fact, when you download an application, for example, you want to save it somewhere. When you install the application, maybe you're not using it as like every day. You need to store it somewhere for future use. And that somewhere is called the storage device. So this is what is not currently being processed. This is the stuff, the file away, but ready to be pulled out when needed. It is non-volatile. So when power goes off, it does not erase the information. And auxiliary storage is used for input, to input data or programs, and output for saving results of the processing. And now we are going to talk about unit and storage capacity, because now we know, okay, we use the secondary storage device to keep our ping, our stuff. So what does that mean really? How much amount was the type of amount that we can save in a secondary device according to what we want to do? For example, I want to watch some movies. So am I going to be able to download as many movies as I want and store them in any secondary devices? This is very interesting, and we're going to see it just in some seconds. Okay, unit and storage capacity. We previously saw a little bit about this, so this is just a reminder. A bit is the smallest unit of storage in a computer. It is a binary, so made up of 1 and zeros. The capacity is a number of bytes. Characters, a storage medium can hold. And here I want to introduce you one of my friends who is going to talk about unit and storage capacity. Let's listen to my friend. Thank you.
In this video, we'll talk about how storage information is displayed, sometimes misleadingly. Let's start out by looking at bits and bytes. A bit is the fundamental unit of information and is represented in binary as either 0 or 1. A byte represents 8 binary digits, or 8 bits. If you want to learn more about bits and bytes specifically, you can check out one of these videos. Storage information is commonly displayed in two ways. On the left, starting with kilo, we can see the decimal representation of bits and bytes, which is the most commonly used system. A kilobyte represents 1,000 bytes, a megabyte represents 1,000,000 bytes, and so on. These prefixes are commonly used in scientific fields as well as when referring to computer storage. On the right, starting with kibi, we see the less commonly used binary representation of bits and bytes. A kibibyte represents 1024 bytes and increases by factors of 2. Although the binary system is less commonly referred to than the decimal, it is in some ways a more sensible system because it matches the structure of hardware. For both systems, the prefixes can be used to talk about both bits and bytes. Adding one of the prefixes to bit or byte gives a valid unit of storage. For example, adding kilo to bit gives kilobit, which represents 1000 bits. Adding kibi to bit gives kibibit, which represents 1024 bits. The same principle can be applied to bytes. Now here's the problem. You might want to think twice about trusting your hard drive size. On the Linux operating system, when you see 1 kilobyte, you can be sure that it's 1000 bytes. The same goes for newer versions of OS X. On Windows, however, a kilobyte doesn't mean 1000 bytes, it means 1024, which, remember, is actually a kibibyte. When Windows talks about bits and bytes, they're reporting units in a way that they were reported before the IEEE standard was introduced in 1998. That doesn't mean they're wrong, it's just something you should be aware of. Here are 3 things that will help you when you're buying a storage device. Make sure you're getting the unit you pay for, that the device will work with your system, and that the size of the device is appropriate for your storage needs.
Okay, welcome back. I hope this video was very interesting for you, and I hope that you took down some notes. So it's very important to note that the speed of a storage device and memory is defined by the access. And what is the access? The access measures 2 different things. Number 1, the amount of time it takes a storage device to locate an item on a storage medium, or it will also measure the time required to deliver an item from memory to the processor. So this access helps you to understand, like when you plug in your USB drive on a computer, all what you want to know is when you plug the computer into the CPU, you want to access your file immediately. And then when you open, for example, your movie from that flash drive, if it takes like 1 minute to play, you see that there is a problem, and you would, probably start to think that it's the computer that is not really up to the task. But let me tell you that most of the time, it's just because of the storage devices. It is not as fast as what you thought. So this lesson is going to give you information about how to choose your storage devices according to your needs, and it's very, very important. So let's move on. We are going to talk about the different types of storage devices, like the magnetic disk. And it's very interesting because of the various type of auxiliary storage. This type is used most often in involving type of magnetic disk. These come in various sizes and materials, as we shall see. This method uses magnetism to store the data on a magnetic surface. So this one is really widespread out, is everywhere. We use this type of storage technology. The advantages are just that it is high storage capacity. It is reliable, and it gives direct access to data. Meaning when you want to access data, you just click there, the data are present, and they are ready for you to use them. A drive spins the disk very quickly underneath a read and write head, which does exactly what the name says, like it reads data from a disk and write data to a disk. So it's good to have something that has a name reflecting exactly what he does. So let's go a little bit deeper into magnetic disk, because this is the most common type of storage devices. Okay, so we are talking about magnetic disk. Very interesting. And this is what you should know. First of all, we have different types of magnetic disk, and they are diskettes or floppy disk. I know most of you don't really know what is diskette or floppy disk, because computers nowadays doesn't have this type of storage devices. That's what you see on the screen. But we also have the hard disk. This is the hard disk. In fact, the hard disk is the main secondary storage memory of the computer. It stays inside the computer, and without a hard drive, there's no way for a computer to be used, because the computer also needs to store information and access them as fast as possible when needed. So this is also a kind of magnetic disk that is very, very, very used all over the globe. Okay, we have portable or external hard disk drive as well. So it connects with a USB cable on the system unit. So we can still have the same hard drive. We can still have the same hard drive, yeah. But in fact, it can also be external, meaning that it's not going to be directly connected on the motherboard and stay there for a long time. No, it's just you are able to carry it out with you and to plug it, then to connect with a USB cable on the USB port of your system unit. And it's quite interesting, right? Okay, now the advantages of external hard disk over internal hard disk are very simple. First of all, it transports a large number of files very easily. You can store 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte of information just in your hand, and you carry it, you put it in your bag, and you go somewhere with it. Then it adds storage devices to a desktop computer without having to open a system unit. Let's see something. You buy a new computer today, and the memory or the hard disk drive inside is not very powerful, and you want to store some movies. It's very easy for you to take your external drive, store your videos inside, since the amount, I mean, the number of files that you can save in an external drive just depend on you, on what you want. Then you just plug it into the system unit, and the videos and the content are available very fast. Okay. It's also backup important files or entire internal disk. Sometimes it's good to copy your information from your personal computer to your hard drive, like once a week. So when a tragedy happens to your computer, it cannot start again or it got burned, you can still have the same data using your external drive. It easily stores large audio and video files. For example, you want to store 400 videos. It will be easier with an external drive than to store it in your personal computer desktop. Then it shares drive with multiple users. It's very easy to take your hard drive, to give it to somebody, to take your hard disk, to share with somebody, than to share your personal computer with somebody. It's a little bit different. So we are going now to see, because it helps us also to secure your data. Since you can carry, you can remove, you can keep it somewhere. We're going to watch another video. It's one of my friends. She will talk with you about storage devices too. And you are going to learn about magnetic devices. You are going to learn about online storage. You are going to learn about the different type of storage devices that we can have. And then when we are back, we're going to discuss about it a little bit, and you will have your assignment. So let's watch the video. It's going to be very interesting.
Hello. In this video, we are going to learn about external memory or storage devices. Computer memory is the storage area of the computer. It is any kind of hardware which stores data and instructions for the computer. They are classified into two types: primary or internal memory and secondary or external memory. While the primary memory is accessed directly by CPU, secondary memory is backup memory used for long-term storage of data. Its key characteristics are: it is slower than the primary memory, data stored is permanent, so it is used for storage and backup, it helps in transferring data from one computer to another. There are many different types of storage devices such as floppy drives, CD drives, tapes, etc. The earliest computer storage device was actually punch card made of paper. Now we have storage devices which are either magnetic, optical or flash memory devices. Let's look at each one of them. Magnetic storage devices include hard disk and floppy disk. Hard disks are typically installed inside the computer, though portable hard disks are also available. Inside a hard disk, there is a spindle which holds one or more rotating disks called platters. These disks are coated with magnetic material. These disks have a magnetic head which is used to read or write data on the disk. Floppy disks were used to transfer data between computers. The computers have floppy drives into which the floppy was inserted. They used to come in 5/1/4 inch or 3.5 inch size. As their data capacity was very less, pen drives have now become more popular. Next are optical storage devices, which includes CDs, DVDs and Blu-ray discs. It uses laser and light to store data. CD stands for compact disc. They are portable and can store up to 700 MB of data. They come in three types. First is CD-ROM or CD read-only memory, from where you can only read data. Then there are CDR or CD recordable, where data can be written only once and then can be read multiple times. In CD RW or CD rewritable, the data can be written multiple times, so it is also known as erasable CD. Next we will cover DVDs. DVDs stand for Digital Versatile Disc and they have storage capacity almost 10 times that of CD and are 20 times faster than CD. They come in three types. First type is DVD-R or DVD recordable, where data can be written only once and then can be read multiple times. In DVD read-write or DVD rewritable, the data can be written multiple times. Next is Blu-ray. The name comes from blue laser, which reads from and writes to the disc rather than the red laser of DVD. This allows it to store more and it can hold 25 GB of data per layer. There are dual layer, triple layer discs which hold even more data. Now we will cover flash storage device. They include USB flash drives, memory cards or SD cards, etc. They have now become very popular as it is more cheaper, efficient and reliable solution. USB flash drive or pen drive is a portable memory storage device which is the size of a human thumb and connect to computer via a USB port. It can store data up to 1 TB. It is compact, fast and convenient, so it is typically used to store and transfer files. Memory card is used to store photos, videos in cameras, smartphones and gaming consoles. They can store images up to 128 GB. SD or secure digital card comes in micro SD or mini SD size as well. Nowadays, storing data online and in cloud is becoming popular as people need to access their data from more than one device. However, it is nothing but storing on a network of remote servers which are either magnetic or optical.
Welcome back. I hope this video was very interesting. I hope you took some note. You wrote down your note, please. It's very interesting. Go back into the video and listen very well because I'm not going to say back what she's already said. Just take some notes, and if you have any question, you can comment the video and post your question. You will have a very quick answer. So let's go back now. We got to the end of this lesson. Let's go directly to the assignment. What I want you to do is this. First of all, I want you to convert 1 gigabyte to bits, and I want you also to convert 1,600 bits into kilobytes. Then you are going to convert 8,192 kilobytes to megabytes. And tell me, if a flash disk has the capacity of 1.88 gigabyte and an electronic book has a size of 256 megabyte, showing or working, Calculate the number of books that can be stored in the flash disk and convert 1055 bytes into kilobyte. This is just a simple assignment because I'm going to give you an evaluation on this chapter within the next days. So thank you very much. Stay connected. Stay safe. Please wear your mask, wash your hands, and don't go outside if it's not necessary. Thank you very much. See you in the next lesson.